Hi YouTube souls, it's Corvus and welcome to another video in the COVID Whisper section. This will be one of the few exceptions in which, having a franchise behind it, I will choose to do a COVID Whispers video first, and it's when the film or movie is very recent and I want you to have the chance to watch it. So even though it's worth having a full in-depth review, I will start with the COVID Whispers and review it later with all the spoilers necessary. Also, I want to take the chance to tell you that the film reviews, well, the reviews in general on the COVID Whispers video will be reduced a lot. And they will be also more focused on spirituality or on fictional material that can be related to spirituality, paganism, witchcraft, mystical aspects, etc. Fairy lore and all of the like, because if I feel that my material is so terrible or so good that it needs to be reviewed or whatever, I will do it. But trying to do everything that I like and dislike, I'm getting really stressed out, and I don't want that. So let's slow down the pace on that. I also want to start getting more into political and social videos sometimes, and ramble and rant a little bit. So the film in question is Blair Witch. This is a film from this year, and it is a sequel to the first film, The Blair Witch Project, which I think it's really overrated, but whatever. So the film follows Heather's brother after a new tape with a few new seconds of what happens to Heather, the protagonist in the first film, in the Blair Witch Project, disappeared. So he gathers a group of friends and people, and they go to the forest to find his sister, or at least try to figure out what happened to her. You can imagine the rest. There are many things that are good in this film that made me enjoy it. It's not like the perfect horror film, but it's great. The first thing that didn't happen in the other sequel, The Book of Shadows, it keeps up with the found footage genre or format. The phenomena that happen to the characters are quite more varied, and the jump scares are many, and you can many times foretell that they're coming, but what you can't tell in many occasions is where they're coming from, and that got to a pair of jump scares that affected me, which is pretty rare. This is the first film in which you can see something that at least smells a little bit like witchcraft and witch lore. It's not taken literally witch lore of anywhere that I know of, but the rules to deal with the villainous force, some explanations to some things that appeared in the first film, stuff like that made this film a witchcraft related film to some extent, even if it's not really a far extent. To some extent, this was the first witch related, because the first one, the second, let's forget the second one because it's stupid, but the first one, you have this witch legend, but this doesn't seem like a witch, forest witch of legends. That doesn't seem even the ghost of a witch. It's just random stuff happening because of the scares, and I don't like that. Also, they provide a shape, kind of, to the villainous force, to the villain, and the shape being supposedly a witch and being kind of different, they provide an explanation to why this villain could have that format, that aspect. They play with time cycles and day and night, and that is awesome. just except for one thing that I didn't understand, but the rest is awesome. And they explain, or they don't explain, but you see or kind of see what the mocking forms made with little branches or whatever in the first form that were kind of humanoid, were hanging from trees and stuff. They kind of give you an explanation of what they're for, and that was the best part of the movie for me. So they play a lot with perception, and the sound is very well played as well. And not because they have a better technical sound, a better budget or whatever. They have a better budget, but the sounds aren't of a better quality. The sounds are better played into scene. Something that the first film didn't know how to make, in my opinion. This is a technical aspect, but the illumination is way better in the way that it's not a random shitty quality thing. It's not the best quality, but it's put in a way that despite being a recording, you can guess that you're seeing what they are seeing. Not the camera quality, but the eye quality. Of course, they sometimes put things of low battery and stuff like that to give the impression that it's the recording only, but it's like that you feel that the light length that you see in the camera is the light length their eyes have. The ending was almost perfect, save for the last few seconds that were stupid, but when they reach a certain point that is important, and I won't spoil you, if you watch closely and with lots of attention, you kind of figure out things for this film and for the previous film. So given that you see some things that are new, that things happen differently, that they give you explanation or hints to some of the older stuff and of the stuff happening at the beginning of this film, and they put into play things that are different, phenomena that are different to the ones that happened in the first film. Even for things that happened in the first film, the outcome of these things happen differently, so that's very cool as well. The bad things, that there aren't that many, but there are some. First is that it takes a little bit to start happening things, like the first half of the movie is very slow. Also, there's a character that this character is suffering from something during the whole movie, but the outcome or the result for this character's death apparently has nothing to do with what this character was suffering from. So it's very pointless what the character goes through during most part of the film. In the end, it happens something that I simply don't understand. It's not a bad thing, it's just that I don't understand what happens. Like, I understand what happened in the whole film and why some things that should have happened don't happen and where they go to. There's one particular phenomenon that happens in the end that it's like, what the hell happened here? So yeah, this is what I have to say for this film. Tonight is the supermoon. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm super excited. So watching this film was quite proper, I think, and I enjoyed it, and I will mark it with an 8. For any other film, I would probably mark it with a 7 or even a 6. But the expectation for this film was so low, but I wanted so bad that a film about a legend of a forest witch was good that, I don't know, I had these very low expectations, and my expectations were lifted up. Now it's your time to decide. I know I will receive probably some criticism for liking this movie and not the original one, but bear with me. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like if you like the video or the movie, dislike if not. And if you want to see more spoiler-free comments on films, TV series, books, whatever, please subscribe to keep updated. Thanks for watching, guys. May the gods and spirits watch over you all, and bye.